chicken coop because we're gonna go into the garden to plant some seedlings. We have seedlings, not seeds. So seedlings are like miniature seeds. Like you have to plant a seed to get a seedling. So we're gonna plant that, and we have to do it as quick as possible because we bought the cabbage seedling a few days ago, and we now are going to plant even the spinach ones. So ahead of going to the garden to I don't know if planting sounds right, but I made some fire. I actually can make a fire without paraffin, guys. I can make a fire without paraffin. Shout out to Makulwam because she never allowed paraffin near Gonzumlido. You have to learn how to make fire. And I think that's like a gift I get to have. Like, I can make fire. I mean, granted, I did cheat because it's in summer pepper, but like, hello, how else am I going to start the fire? Actually, how am I going to sit? Yo! We have so much cabbage we didn't anticipate, but we are selling the cabbage. If you're in the region and you'd like some cabbages, we have so much in abundance. See you in February. Come on, let me show you what we've done so far. Okay. On this episode of In the Garden, we have this plant. We call it iboza. You guys can tell me what it's called in English. But growing up, we used to use it if you have a tight chest, if you have flu or whatever. You can just crush this with water. It's literally a pharmacy in your garden. Oh no, like that around here, but you used this, which we have it in our garden. There's also another one which is same variation of this plant, but allegedly you use that one for a runny tummy, which is just outside the gate. It's really cool that we can have medicine right at our disposal. Let's take a long walk around the park after dark. I was saying that in the morning I haven't gotten a routine, so I find that I don't want to be the light is so much better this side. Actually, you know what, let's go. I used to be very fascinated by the idea of like when I was younger and see like a gosh, and so you'd go like super far in and I'd see like the roof of my home, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know, it was just fun. Let's do some trespassing, but luckily it's a communal land, so we're communal people, okay? There's no such thing as trespassing. The land belongs to everybody. Oh god, I'm trying. Look, I might get charged for trespassing on this one if I break. Actually, I won't, but I still need to go to the other side. Let's try again. We made it! Isn't this cool? Who's there? I've had this view all my life, obviously, and I was sharing this even. Let's take a walk while we debrief, I guess. Oh my god, there's a child walking. Should I work backwards? Growing up, we're told that, oh, I'm going to is bad luck. And I feel like I'm just going around in circles in this video, but I desperately want to talk to you guys. I was actually editing a video. You see Nagika, and the further I go, obviously, it's going to be, the tinier it's going to become. Welcome to the Closer Fun quiz. This plant is actually called, I've since learned this, so I'm very excited to share this knowledge because I learned it recently and I was like, oh my God. As you guys know, we have the English calendar. There's a Zulu calendar, but there's also a Xhosa calendar, and I'm going to make this very short. Also, for context, I didn't do Xhosa. I grew up in KZN. I did Afrikaans because we were manipulated by the teachers into doing Afrikaans, honestly. It was not my choice. They brainwashed us and they manipulated us into doing Afrikaans. I would have loved to do Zulu. I feel like it would add a lot more value to me right now. But there's a month called Edwaga, and it's actually named after this specific flower, I think. I could be wrong, but this is... No, it's not Edwaga. Oh my god, I just made that up. There's a month, it's called Eyomga. No? Eyenkanga, something. But there's a month that's named specifically after this plant because that's the season, or that's the... Well, we didn't have months, but that's a month when this plant actually blossoms. There's a Idwaga. I think Idwaga is the shorter one, there's a tall one. But it's just very fascinating to me that, oh my god, it just reinforces this idea or this concept, I don't know what it is, that I have, that we as human beings are one spiritual people. We are an extension of nature, and it's so important that a lot of the challenges and the questions that I have about my life and life in general, and it's because I think I've lost touch with my spirituality. When it's probably a very silly example, still connecting me to this thought that I had. To make the soil fertile, we use the sheep poop, because for some reason, I don't know what, it makes the soil fertile and be able to plant this food that we in turn eat, right? So it's it can be, I don't know, this is not groundbreaking news. What I'm trying to say is that there's an element of curiosity that is lost on us, in us, at us, by us, I don't know, as human beings. There's so much potential, there's so many questions about the world. Sometimes we have so many beliefs, but I think sometimes those beliefs can be very limiting. Because there's so much. The world is so big. Guys, the world is so big. I think God is just so big. There's no one answer to define the magnitude of the kind of life that we live, the beauty in these landscapes. Like, there's just so much beauty. It's just all these thoughts that are happening in my mind as I'm back home, and as I get to just walk through this beautiful lands. Unfortunately, that sun is now hiding behind the clouds. I also have to go dish up dinner, but God, am I so grateful to be from around here. This video probably is not what you expected, at least not what I conventionally do, but I do hope that it has given you some ray of sunshine and just optimism because of how beautiful the world around us is and how lucky we are that we get to exist and just be part of this beauty. This is very far into the video to explain, but this is the farming land in the olden days when I was younger, back when people were a lot more self-reliant. I guess that's something I wanted to get into, but I don't want to be like, back when our communities were a lot more self-reliant, I guess it also wasn't because of choice, it was just the circumstances. But back when we were a lot more self-sufficient, we used to farm here, and these farms around this time would be abundant in Umbona because that's what we farmed a lot. But it does sadden me that there's so much abundance in land, and yet I guess it's because young people, like older people, were doing the farming. Most of them are dead. The rest are way too old to push this. We are the young people, and I'm not critiquing. It's by circumstances, and it's circumstance and also just systematic, but also social constructs. Too much English. I don't know. I just feel sad that, hopefully not, but at some point we'll hear that these lands have been rented out to corporations and we're never going to have them again. It kind of saddens me. And I don't think this is a situation that's unique to my village or my town, but yeah. But anyway, guys, I'm about to go home. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you welcome this contradictions as I go through my mind, as I also try to figure out where I am mentally, and just also find my confidence speaking on camera, sharing my views, my opinions, and I had a beautiful comment that was like, oh, it's not starting over, it's continuing. And I was like, yeah, I'm continuing. It's a continuation of life. It just happens to be continuing in a different way than I had expected. And I welcome that too. We're